Okay, let's do this. Let's reveal the palette roulette round 6 selections. Hi there, it's Hélène with another video, and yes, I have my round 6 selections. I put them so nice and tidy on an old receipt. We have 3 people participating. We have Julie, Adriana, and Susan, and I'm very excited to show you your selections. Well, their selections for those of you who are not the 3 that I'm talking about. I have to say that it is a little bit of a reckoning. I deserve this because the last round was all so easy and effortless. I was bound to have a tougher round, and you delivered. So let's get into what each one of these are, starting with the first person who offered numbers. And the first person was Julie. And Julie gave me 19, 8, and 10, which happened to be the date, the calendar date of the day she made the selection. So I see what you did there. It works. All right, so let's take a look at number 19, which is the eyeshadow palette. And for an eyeshadow palette, we talked about neutrals, we talked about boring, Julie and I back and forth, and here's what she selected. We're going to be doing the ultimate basics this next few weeks, and it looks like this. Now, this is a pretty common palette on YouTube that comes up now and then, and a lot of folks call it boring. I would as well, but also very practical. And so I think that this can act as a very good base for most of the looks that I will do over the next, I figured, a couple of weeks. I never give myself a deadline. I just keep using the products until I feel like I've done enough looks for you that I can justify kind of moving on to the next round. But you know, it means 12 different colors, and definitely we've got some cool, we've got some warm. And so I think it's a good mix. So I'm looking forward to digging into this one. I haven't for quite a while because I've been working on that palette, which is the Smashbox Matte Exposure. So it'll be nice to get back into this one. Now, for face palette, Julie chose number 8, and number 8 ends up being this one. I love this one, by the way. It is the Hot Tryst by NARS, and it looks like this. It was a limited edition for holiday 2018, and I'm pretty happy with this one. It has highlighters and blushes, and I think you can tell on camera it has some decent wear already. The pattern is coming off a little bit on some of the shades, especially these 2 at the end. I like this palette. I have no problem with it and will enjoy using it. Now, the last number that Julie picked, if you'll recall, is number 10. And so now we have something a little more edgy. Here is number 10. These are razor liners. They're called Razor Sharp Liners by Urban Decay. I'll just swatch a couple for you. And they are, this one's not quite as sharp. There's a glob on the end there, but I'll swatch it anyway. So I have a hot pink, a green, which I think this one is, it says Kush, but it makes me think of the pencil of similar color called, what's it called? Freak. I'm going to have fun with this one. So that one. And so you can use it as liner, you can use it as kind of an inner lid accent, I guess. And so this one is kind of a sparkly beige. Let me give you the names. The hot pink one is called, I can barely read this, Junk Show. So we've got Junk Show, we've got Kush, we've got Space Cowboy, which makes sense for this one. This is Space Cowboy. And then finally, we have Intergalactic, which is kind of this metallic pink. Let's see how that looks. These are fairly new to my collection, so I haven't really played with them. That's going to be good. I'm going to get a chance to do that. Okay, let's see how I remember them. Kush, Junk Show, Space Cowboy, and Intergalactic. So Julie, you may have given me a relatively boring kind of neutral palette, eyeshadow palette, and a nice looking but pretty tame cheek and highlighting palette, but you sure made up with number 10 as your last selection. So I'm looking forward to using those and reporting back. Now we're going to move to a new person offering some numbers, and that is Adriana. And Adriana went with, she said the one that was random was 70, but then the other two numbers she gave me for the two other categories were 12 and 12. So let's start with number 70, which is the Grind palette by NYX. I'm kind of partial to grungy looks, and so this is the palette, and it looks like this. So here's the palette right there, and you'll see some vibes of Urban Decay and a few other palettes that have more of the kind of mustardy tones. It can also be reminiscent, a few of the colors, to the possibly Natasha Denona Gold palette, although I might be stretching it a little bit, but definitely Subculture. What else does it make me think of? This color possibly makes me think of, it's a bit of a more brownish version of Sissy from the Jaclyn Hill palette. Anyway, there are a lot of colors in here, and I think that there's some pretty nice pairings as well with Julie's razor liners, so I think that that will work nicely. And you can really do a lot of different looks with this. If you want to see my full review of this palette along with the, it's not the Steam, the Machinist. It's the Machinist collection, but there's Steam, there's Ignite, and then there's Grind, the one that I'm going to be using. But I'm just going to show you this other one that I have. It's more on the pinky purpley tones, but there are still quite a few colors that are similar to the Grind palette in kind of theme. But definitely this one, I think that it's going to be really good. But those two palettes, Ignite and Grind, I'll put the video right here so that you can take a look at my review of those, because you can see quite a few of the looks that I decided to do with those two palettes, and it could be informative. I did see Steam on the Shoppers Drug Mart site, so these are popping around here and there, even though they're officially not on the market anymore. And I've seen Steam as recently as just a couple weeks ago, so I'm pretty confident in what I'm saying, that they're still popping up here and there. And it was on the Shoppers Drug Mart site, brand new palette, so yeah, they're still milling about. Now, Adriana chose, like I said, 12 for the second category, and she ended up choosing the Smashbox Contour Kit. And it's a trio kit, and I quite like it. It has a contour, a bronzer, and a highlight, and it's quite nice. I don't have a problem with it. I think the highlight may be a little bit yellow for me. I don't know if you can see the color, but I can definitely use it, at least on the bridge of my nose, maybe to highlight a couple of points on my my face, and I can definitely as well use this to set my eye primer as well. I will find uses for it and report back. It might even work nicely on the brow bone as a finishing touch. So I'm going to enjoy using this along with the Grind palette, but wait, there's more. With the second number 12 selection that was in the other category, Adriana is helping me crank it up a notch, and that is with the Moondust shadows from Urban Decay, and I happen to have 6 of them. I have Space Cowboy. I think I'll open all of them because they're hard to see through the package. Space Cowboy. And this one I have not touched yet because I have other products that are Space Cowboy. This one is Vortex, and I'm really looking forward to playing more with this one. Look at that color, right? So that's Vortex. Next up we have Dark Force. And 3 more to go. This one is Extra Galactic. Gosh, that's a beautiful duochrome. And 2 more Vape. This is a very shimmery, but, well, they all are, but this one has kind of a pink shift along with silver. It's quite nice. And then finally, Shockwave. And it's purple. I love purple. And there's Shockwave. So again, a duochrome there. Beautiful. So I'm going to really enjoy it. It really has three colors going, which is just fantastic. So being able to take grind to the next level with these 6 Moondust shadows will be really, really nice to do. Now, Adriana has a story with the number 12. So 70 was just a random number, but those other 2 categories, 12 and 12, that is her wedding anniversary date, so she wouldn't forget. I think that's cool. And part of the reason I think that's cool is because I have the same kind of thing. We chose our wedding date, my husband and I, based on the ease of remembering the date. And for us, it's 321. I'll let you guess what that date is. But that is the easiest way for us to remember our wedding anniversary, and it has saved my bacon more than once. And last but not least, we have Susan, who selected 39, 10, and 3. And 39 is going to be my biggest challenge out of this whole selection process, and it's this one. This is the iMagic palette, and I use this usually for Halloween. And I can definitely show you the palette. It is a dupe. I use the term loosely always when it comes to dupes, for the Makeup Forever set that looks very much like this. And I've had some good experience and not so good experience with this palette, and I'm going to use it as a base maybe for some of the looks that I'll do, but it is really face and body paint. But then again, so is a lot of different kinds of makeup. So I'm going to try to use the different colors either as a base, as a starting point, or I may find that they behave well and they can act on as a color on their own without kind of cracking as they dry. But I'm up for the challenge, and I will use this and we will see how it goes. And maybe pairing them, because a lot of them are matte, pairing them with the Moondust shadows, it might work really well. So we will see how this goes. Now the next selection that Susan made is a lot more comfortable for me, at least for me, and that is the Blush Kit in Gradient by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it is a quad. And regardless of what you may think of the colors, it is a beautiful blush quad, even for my complexion. So this was supposed to be for deeper skin tones, but I have been able to do some very pretty things with this, and using all of these not only on the cheek, but also on the eye. This is beautiful. It makes for a beautiful look, and I bet you can see how these two can go together for an eye look as well. I really like it, and I always wonder why I don't use it more. It's great. And so I will really enjoy using this along with the Hot Tryst because they're so different. Let me show you side by side. I mean, there is zero overlap. They are so, so different. So that's going to be nice to have two very, very different options when it comes to blush and highlighter products. Well, not highlighter, I guess, but on the blush side, yes. I was getting a little bit ahead of myself because there is a final category that Susan chose, and it was number 3, and number 3 is shimmer veils, and I'll show you those in a second, but I'm going to include these from Cover Effects as well, and these are the Enhance Click products, and these are cream products for the face. So I've got a highlighter here called Blossom. I have Gold Dust, which is another kind of highlighter. You can also use these on your eyes. They work in a variety of different ways. This one is called Berry. This is more of a blush. And these are great to wear during the summer, so this is a great time. And then Gilded. And I like Cover Effects. It's a Canadian company. There we go. And so this can definitely be a base. It can be any face, eye product. It can be used pretty much anywhere on the face. And I don't use them enough, so it'll be nice to wear these along with the intended selection that Susan had, and that is the Shimmer Veils. So let me show you those. I really like Cover Effects. I have all 6 of their Shimmer Veils. And I'm going to swatch them all for you. Let me swatch them all, and then we'll talk about them. Okay, I have quite a few here. The first one is Moonstone, right here. That's Moonstone. And then right after is Soleil. And right after that, we have Amethyst. We can definitely see that's an amethyst color. And then we've got 3 more, hang on. We have Celestial, right here, Magic, and Halo. And you can see how these would be fantastic toppers. I was just working with 2 ladies on the weekend, and one of them had Halo as her Cover Effects Shimmer Veil, and I showed her how to use it as opposed to doing full opacity, but to put some on your hand and dab your finger in it and then apply it on the inner to center lid is beautiful. It lets the previous color, the first color, shine through, but it gives this beautiful iridescence, which I think you can see on my hand. It's very striking. And she was very happy with that end result when we put that on her eyelid, so much so that she replicated the one look on the other eye. So obviously she liked it quite a bit. For that, I want to do a video just talking a little bit about what I did with those 2 ladies this past weekend. It was a lot of fun, and you might want to do something similar. So I'll talk about that in a separate video. I don't want this one to be too long. But these are all the selections that let's see here. Julie, Adriana, and Susan picked for me. I think that I have a very full plate of products to try for the next couple of weeks. And as usual, you will see my looks as they come out on my Instagram account, and you can follow me right there. They come out periodically, and then you don't have to wait a couple of weeks to see the outcome of all the looks I do with the Palette Roulette or Palette Collection Roulette selections. And if you want to see the last set of selections and associated looks, I'll put that video right here as well. I thank you so much for joining me today for the reveal of the selections. I hope you found this video interesting. Please leave me some comments below. What do you think I'm going to have trouble with? What do you think I'm going to have fun with? I would love to hear your thoughts, or anything else for that matter. But for now, I'm going to say thank you for watching. I appreciate it every time. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.